Hi everyone. I want to speak today about the solar eclipse that we have tomorrow on the 20th of April. And eclipses in general are a wonderful opportunity to work on that side of you which has been hidden from you. So anything which lays buried inside of you can come up on the day of the eclipse. And eclipses in ancient Hinduism also have been seen to be very very powerful times. These are the times where everything is on a fast forward. What this means is that the life cycle that we usually have for which takes like days or weeks or months can happen very very quickly during the period of an eclipse. This is why they say you should not eat before an eclipse, or you should be in an empty stomach, because the food in your system is going to age very fast. Now, all of this that I'm sharing right now comes from the wisdom of Sadhguru. I am going to pin one of his videos speaking of eclipses as the first comment, so you can check it out and understand it more deeply. And if you feel guided to, you can also observe this. Another thing that is very relevant is that eclipses tend to make your spiritual process also very very fast. So if you can note down when the eclipse is in your part of the world, and whether before it, during it, or after it, you can start to undertake a deep meditation practice. You can actually sit in dhyan, which means like focus. You just sit with your eyes closed and just focus on your breath, and you can allow yourself to go deeper. Maintain that focus on the breath. If there are guided meditations that you specifically do, you can do those. You can also do isha kriya, which is again something that I can pin as one of the first the second comments here, or just in the first comment. Just have a look out for that to get you started. It's a wonderful, like 12 to 13 minute guided meditation to understand your true nature. And eclipses, and around the time when you're not meditating, and if you have time, it happens to be on a weekday, but maybe in the evening, or earlier in the morning, you can use some powerful tools to go deep within you. So if you want, you can maybe question a few things about your life that are especially painful for you. So for instance, if there is a particular childhood wound that has surfaced for you of late, or there is a particular relationship in your life which still holds some sway over you. Because remember, an empowered divine feminine is very self directed, and she has the locus of control is within her. For her, she's not easily triggered. She's not under the dominance of anybody, any ex boyfriend, any ex husband, any mother, father, any friend. Nobody controls her at all, because she is the manifestor of her own life, and she governs her life. She has that power where she has taken her power back, where she had unconsciously or consciously sometimes given that power away. So wherever you feel like you are in a power dynamic where you are at the receiving end, I mean, that is just an indication. You can start to work on that relationship. You can write about it. You can deeply question your feelings around it. Go deep within. Try to identify if there were other patterns in your life which was similar in the past. Try to see what part of you is still very triggered by a particular kind of a person. So basically, you are utilizing this eclipse opportunity to bring up what lays hidden and buried within you, because it's also a new moon, as eclipses always are on a full moon or a new moon. So with the new moon as well, whatever lies within you always comes up during powerful lunar energies such as new moons and full moons, right? So you can spend like a part of your time looking at the most triggering thing, as I mentioned, journaling about it, and trying to go deep within. And a third thing that you can do, the first thing, of course, was deep meditation. The third thing you can do is you can start to work with manifestation. Now, we know that there are lots of new moon rituals for manifestation. So, whatever works for you, you can start doing it. You can have a manifestation diary. If you already have it, then you can just write down, a few things that you would like to see. Write it in the present tense, like you're already living it. Write almost, you should always write as if there is something you specifically want to manifest. Maybe you want to manifest money, or a comfortable life, or a vacation, or communication with your twin flame, or anything else, where you really think that, or maybe it can even be something like you're in a state of clarity. If right now you're in a state of confusion, you can imagine that you already are very clear, and you have a profound insight about where your life is headed, and you see yourself in that state. So manifest anything, which you feel guided to. Just make sure to make those positive 2 3 points, in your diary or through visualizations. You can even use guided meditations for manifestation. There are so many of them on YouTube. Um, so yeah, I mean, those 3 things, if you do, you are well taken care of. And other than that, what I will be pinning as the first video, you can go within and look at what Sadhguru has to say about eclipse. Generally it is about keeping an empty stomach. It is about not eating the food that you had cooked prior to when the eclipse started. These are just some ancient things that still happen in India a lot, that we cook fresh food after the eclipse. We take a bath after the eclipse, because like I said, the energies tend to age very very quickly during the time of an eclipse. The sun is not there. The sun is what basically gives life to the planet, and now the rays of the sun, or the presence of the sun, gets eclipsed. So you understand how much of a loss that causes the earth, because we are all very dependent on the sun. The sun is a life-giving force for the planet. Without the sun we wouldn't have the warmth and the heat to even, earth will be like frozen. So all of this, understand it like deeply, and you can do your own research as well. So this is what we do. We take a bath, and then we light an incense in the house or around the house to cleanse the energies, because during that time there was no sun coming in. And hence we expect that there could be a lot of stagnation energy which builds up during the eclipse. So eclipses are very very powerful energetically. Every life force is affected by an eclipse. So wonderful way to utilize the eclipses. I'm just going to recap it very quickly. You can obviously do all these rituals that I spoke of. Firstly, you need to meditate, and you can go deeper in your meditation. You can utilize guided meditations. Secondly, try to work on a past issue, because it's a new moon and a solar eclipse. So anything which is lying eclipsed or lying hidden from you can finally be brought to your awareness. And awareness is the fastest way to heal. It's the only way, in fact, to become aware of what is really troubling you, so you can work on what is triggering you the most. And the third thing that you can do is that you can work on manifestation. You can write about 3 4 things in your manifestation diary, and you can do a guided meditation on manifesting. And imagine that you're already living these desires, right? You can also just make notes about gratitude that day, which is something that we should do every day. But this particular day, maybe you can write more in your gratitude diary. You can write things that you're grateful for, so that more of that multiplies, right? Because the force on this day is a force of multiplication as well. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next podcast video.